StarStuff. Welcome to the Spaced Out ASMR channel. I'm Jay, and I am going to help you get to sleep by reading about some of the things in our night sky. Tonight I will be reading to you about the fourth planet from the sun in our solar system, our next door neighbor, Mars. First, I am going to start out by telling you some of my favorite things that I learned while researching this week, and then I'll follow it up by reading the Mars profile on the NASA website. But before we get started, I did just want to let you know that I will only be uploading once a week for a little bit, just because classes have started back up. So I will be uploading more on the breaks, promise. And just a friendly reminder, if you like this content, please be sure to give me a like and subscribe. Okay. Let's get started. The first thing that I want to show you is that Mars has blue sunsets. So over here on the right side of the screen, I have pulled up a visualization of the blue sunsets from the surface of Mars. And the captions read, NASA's Viking 1 lander first showed humans what a sunset looked like on Mars in 1976. Several more Red Planet robots have since sent back a variety of views of Martian sunrises and sunsets. Viking 2 captured a Martian sunrise on June 14th, 1978. NASA's Spirit Mars rover captured this famous view of the sun sinking below the rim of the Gusev crater on Mars on May 9th, 2005. NASA's Curiosity Mars rover captured another blue view of the sun sinking below the Martian horizon. The imaging team made it into a short movie in 2015, and there's a link to the short movie. All of my resources will be down in the description box below if there's anything that you would like to go back and check out for yourself. And in 2019, NASA's InSight lander returned several views of Martian sunrises and sunsets that also captured parts of spacecraft on a dusty plain. Why is Mars red, and why are some images blue? Mars is known as the red planet because of iron oxide, like rust, in its soil. The planet's distinctive reddish hue is visible from Earth, even without the aid of a telescope. The ancient Romans named it for their god of war, Ares, in Greek mythology. So what's with the blue twilight? Just as colors are made more dramatic in sunsets on Earth, Mars Martian sunsets would appear bluish to human observers watching from the red planet. Fine dust makes the blue near the sun's part of the sky much more prominent, while normal daylight makes the red planet's familiar rusty color more prominent. The colors come from the fact that the very fine dust is the right size so that blue light penetrates the atmosphere slightly more efficiently. Mark Lemon of Texas A&M University, College Station, a science team member of the Curiosity rover mission. When the blue light scatters off the dust, it stays closer to the direction of the sun than light of other colors does. The rest of the sky is yellow to orange, as yellow and red light scatter all over the sky instead of being absorbed or staying close to the sun. So I think that this blue sunset over here is just amazing. Sunsets are one of my favorite things. So I think it would just be amazing to see a blue sunset from the surface of Mars. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to show you is Olympus Mons. It is the biggest volcano in the entire solar system. And as you can see in this graphic over here, it is the size of the state of Arizona. That is massive. That is huge. The largest of the volcanoes in the Tharsis Montes region, as well as all known volcanoes in the solar system, is Olympus Mons. Olympus Mons is a shield volcano 624 kilometers or 374 miles in diameter, approximately the same size as the state of Arizona, 25 kilometers or 16 miles high, and is rimmed by a 6-kilometer or 4-mile high scarp. I don't know what a scarp is, but we're just gonna roll with it. A caldera 80 kilometers or 50 miles wide is located at the summit of Olympus Mons. To compare, the largest volcano on Earth is Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa is a shield volcano 10 kilometers high at 6.3 miles. Wait. Mauna Loa is a shield volcano 10 kilometers or 6.3 miles high and 120 kilometers and or 75 miles across. The volume of Olympus Mons is about 100 times larger than that of Mauna Loa. In fact, the entire chain of the Hawaiian Islands, from Kauai to Hawaii, would fit inside Olympus Mons. Why is Olympus Mons so big? The main difference between the volcanoes on Earth and the volcanoes on Mars volcanoes in the Tharsis region of Mars are 10 to 100 times larger than those anywhere on Earth. The lava flows on the Martian surface are observed to be much longer, probably a result of higher eruption rates and lower surface gravity. Another reason why the volcanoes on Mars are so massive is because the crust on Mars doesn't move the way it does on Earth. On Earth, the hot spots remain stationary, but the crustal plates are moving above them. The Hawaiian Islands result from the northwesterly movement of the Pacific plate over a stationary hot spot, producing lava. As the plate moves over the hot spot, new volcanoes are formed, and the existing ones become extinct. This distributes the total volume of lava among many volcanoes, rather than one large volcano. On Mars, the crust remains stationary, and the lava piles up in one very large volcano. Okay. I have one more thing that I want to show you before we move on to the rest of what NASA has to say about Mars, and that is this picture over here. I know that sometimes the text on the screen captures can be difficult to read, but this tiny blue dot, this tiny blue dot, is our home planet, Earth. That is what Earth looks like from the planet Mars. This photo from NASA's Curiosity rover shows the Earth as seen from the surface of Mars, shining brighter than any star in the Martian sky. Earth is the bright point of light a little left of the image's center, and our moon can be seen just below Earth. I don't know if you can see it. Well, that's the wrong one. I don't know if you can see it because I can't see it, and I am closer to the screen than you are. But I can't see the moon in this image. I can barely see the Earth, but that's still pretty amazing. Curiosity, which landed on the Red Planet on August 6th, 2013, is the largest and most advanced rover ever sent to Mars. It studies the geology of its surroundings and has found evidence of a past environment well suited to support microbial life. That is amazing. That's brilliant. I mean, I'm pretty sure that just means that Mars has water and oxygen, but it's more than some other planets have, so that's wonderful. Researchers used the left eye camera of Curiosity's mast camera, or mast cam, to image has been processed to remove cosmic ray effects. A human observer with normal vision, if standing on Mars, could easily see Earth and the Moon as two distinct, bright evening stars. When Curiosity took the photo, Earth was about 99 million miles, or 160 million kilometers from Mars. This picture adds to our collection of photos of planet Earth from afar, giving a unique perspective to our place in the cosmos. I had to add that for dramatic effect, but it does make you feel just a little small, doesn't it? Okay, so let's get to the rest of these facts from NASA. Introduction. Mars is one of the most explored bodies in our solar system, and it's the only planet where we've sent rovers to roam the alien landscape. NASA missions have found lots of evidence that Mars was much wetter and warmer with a thicker atmosphere billions of years ago. Mars was named by the Romans for their god of war because its reddish color was reminiscent of blood. The Egyptians called it Herdesher, meaning the red one. Even today, it is frequently called the red planet because iron minerals in the Martian dirt oxidize or rust, causing the surface to look red. I think they just copied and pasted stuff because this thing about the namesakes is on here twice. Potential for life. Scientists don't expect to find living things currently thriving on Mars. Instead, they're looking for signs of life that existed long ago, when Mars was warmer and covered with water. Size and distance. With a radius of 2,106 miles, or 3,390 kilometers. Mars is about half the size of Earth. If Earth were the size of a nickel, Mars would be about as big as a raspberry. From an average distance of 142 million miles, or 228 kilometers, Mars is 1.5 astronomical units away from the Sun. 1 astronomical unit, abbreviated as AU, is the distance from the Sun to Earth. From this distance, it takes sunlight 13 minutes to travel from the Sun to Mars. only takes sunlight 8 minutes to get from the sun to Earth. Orbit and rotation. As Mars orbits the sun, it completes one rotation every 24.6 hours, which is very similar to 1 day on Earth, 23.9 hours. Martian days are called sols, short for solar day. A year on Mars lasts 669.6 sols, which is the same as 687 Earth days. Mars's axis of rotation is tilted 25 degrees with respect to the plane of its orbit around the sun. This is another similarity with Earth, which has an axial tilt of 23.4 degrees. Like Earth, Mars has distinct seasons, but they last longer than seasons here on Earth, since Mars takes longer to orbit the sun because it's farther away. And while here on Earth, the seasons are evenly spread over the year, lasting 3 months or 1/4 of a year. On Mars, the seasons vary in length because Mars' elliptical egg-shaped orbit around the sun. Spring in the northern hemisphere, autumn in the southern, is the longest season at 194 sols. Autumn in the northern hemisphere. Spring in the southern is the shortest at 142 days. Northern winter / southern summer is 154 sols, and northern summer / southern winter is 178 sols. Moons. Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, that may be captured asteroids. They are potato-shaped because they have too little mass for gravity to make them spherical. The moons get their names from the horses that pulled the chariot of the Greek god of war, Ares. Phobos, the innermost and larger moon, is heavily cratered with deep grooves on its surface. It is slowly moving towards Mars and will crash into the planet or break apart in about 50 million years. Deimos is about half as big as Phobos and orbits 2.5 times farther away from Mars. Oddly shaped Deimos is covered in loose dirt that often fills the craters on its surface, making it appear smoother than pock-marked Phobos. I keep trying to click it and drag it, thinking that it's like one of the other visualizations that NASA has where you can just like click and drag and look at the surface of the planets, but that's not what that is. There is a huge like dent in the side of this moon though. Phobos, the larger of Mars's two moons, is seen in this image taken by NASA's High-Resolution Imaging Science Experiment, or HiRISE, camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Phobos, the innermost and larger moon, is heavily cratered with deep grooves on its surface. It is slowly moving towards Mars and will crash into the planet or break apart in about 50 million years. Okay, so I guess that would make this guy Deimos. This enhanced color image of Deimos, the smaller of the two moons of Mars, was taken on February 21st, 2009. The image was taken by HiRISE, High Resolution Imaging Science Experiment, on NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Rings. Mars has no rings. However, in 50 million years, when Phobos crashes into Mars or breaks apart, it could create a dusty ring around the red planet. Formation. When the solar system settled into its current layout about 4.5 billion years ago, Mars formed when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become the fourth planet from the Sun. Mars is about half the size of Earth, and like its fellow terrestrial planets, it has a central core, a rocky mantle, and a solid crust. Structure. Mars has a dense core at its center, between 930 and 1300 miles, or 1500 to 2100 kilometers in radius. It's made of iron, nickel, and sulfur. Surrounding the core is a rocky mantle between 770 and 1,170 miles, 1,240 to 1,880 kilometers thick, and above that a crust made of iron, magnesium, aluminum, calcium, and potassium. This crust is between 6 and 30 miles, or 10 to 50 kilometers deep. Surface. The red planet is actually many colors. At the surface, we see colors such as brown, gold, and tan. The reason Mars looks reddish is due to oxidization or rusting of iron in the rocks, regolith, Martian soil, and dust of Mars. atmosphere, and from a distance makes the planet appear mostly red. Interestingly, while Mars is about half the diameter of Earth, its surface is nearly the same area as Earth's dry land. Its volcanoes, impact craters, and crustal movement, and atmospheric conditions such as dust storms have altered the landscape of Mars over many years, creating some of the solar system's most interesting topographical features. A large canyon system called Valles Marineris is long enough to stretch from California to New York, more than 3,000 miles or 4,800 kilometers. This Martian canyon is 200 miles or 320 kilometers at its widest and 4.3 miles or 7 kilometers at its deepest. That is about 10 times the size of Earth's Grand Canyon. Man, Mars is really out here doing the most, isn't it? Alright, well, pardon the noise interruptions, folks. I'm doing my best. Mars is home to the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons. It's 3 times taller than Earth's Mount Everest, with a base the size of the state of New Mexico. Oh no, that wasn't New Mexico earlier in that drawing, was it? Oh no. Well, I am a biology major, not a cartographer. Oops. I promise I'm not that dumb. Mars appears to have had a watery past, with ancient river valley networks, deltas, and lake beds, as well as rocks and minerals on the surface that could only have formed in liquid water. Some features suggest that Mars experienced huge floods about 3.5 billion years ago. I guess that's where the canyons would come from, huh? There is water on Mars today, but the Martian atmosphere is too thin for liquid water to exist for long on the surface. Today, water on Mars is found in the form of water ice just under the surface in the polar regions, as well as in briny, salty water, which seasonally flows down some hillsides and crater walls. Atmosphere. Mars has a thin atmosphere made up of mostly carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon gases. To our eyes, the sky would be hazy and red because of suspended dust. Instead, the familiar blue tint we see on Earth. Mars's sparse atmosphere doesn't offer much protection from impacts by such objects as meteorites, asteroids, and comets. The temperature on Mars can be as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, or as low as about negative 225 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 153 degrees Celsius. And because the atmosphere is so thin, heat from the sun easily escapes this planet. If you were to stand on the surface of Mars on the equator at noon, it would feel like spring at your feet at 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius, and winter at your head, 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Isn't that just bananas? That you can be two different temperatures at once on one planet. Like your head could be warmer than your feet. That's crazy. That's just wild. Occasionally, winds on Mars are strong enough to create dust storms that cover much of the planet. After such storms, it can be months before all of the dust settles. Magnetosphere. Mars has no global magnetic field today, but areas of the Martian crust in the southern hemisphere are highly magnetized, indicating traces of a magnetic field from 4 billion years ago. Okay. That's all I have for you tonight on the planet Mars. I hope you enjoyed it, but I would be delighted if it put you to sleep. To get real with you for a moment, I can't believe all of the support you guys have shown me lately. And a special thank you to my friends from Reddit. I appreciate you so much. I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you have a good night. Peace and love. Bye. 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 Bye-bye.